She's stretching
I
on
have
you.
been welcomed into the wiener community.
Scams.
Scams in the wedding industry, but scams in the photography industry. And I'm not talking about just photographer scams. I'm talking about clients that try to scam us and everything in between. I, off the record, don't know if we should say any names.
Oh, I will be saying one name.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to share our tea because we both have tea on the same person, and because this person is like, like you said, I'm pretty sure he's like in court and stuff or whatever right now. But so many people have stories with them, so I'm like, I feel like it doesn't matter that we bring up his name. So
You're right.
his name is Tiandre. So do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. The year was 1912. I'm just kidding. Basically, I don't even remember. This may have been, actually, this was last August, I think.
Okay, yeah, sounds about right.
At the time, I actually wasn't hired for this wedding. My sister was coordinating a wedding with her friend Becca. And my sister was like 37 weeks pregnant, like super pregnant. And so she was like, I just want someone else to be there with me. You know, in case her water breaks or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And at the time, I also was very early on pregnant. And so I was super nauseous that day too. So we both, and it literally was a rooftop wedding in downtown Dayton. So that was something else.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful venue though. Anyways,
Was it
so
the Remedy?
Do what?
The Remedy?
Yes. Yeah.
Love it.
I got there. And actually, before I got there, I remember asking my sister, I was like, oh, like, who's the photographer? I want some tea on him.
Yeah.
So I can look him up. And she was like, oh, I don't really know his name. And then her friend Becca sent it to me. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this guy looks so cool. And that's like a dream for me. I would love for someone, I know people say, don't travel for free or don't travel to do photos for free or whatever, but like, no, if someone was like, hey, I'm getting married, even if it was in Florida, and they were like, but we'll pay your flight and stay, like, absolutely, I'll be on the flight tomorrow. So this guy, I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cool. Photos are so cool and like dreamy and documentary style. I'm really excited to meet him. So I was like, I am pumped to meet this guy. So I remember even like when I was getting ready that day, I was like, I want to look cool. So I slicked my hair back, of course, because that's the cool hairstyle. I did.
And like a ponytail or something?
And a bun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyways, the cool hairstyle. But I remember I got there and everything was fine at the wedding. I was helping my sister like set up tables and everything. I hadn't even gone to really see the bride just because I wasn't a main vendor. I didn't really feel the need to like go and be like, hey, I'm my sister's assistant. And she'd be like, who, like, what, where kind of situation. So I was helping my sister set up tables and everything. And I could see like the bride kind of like walking back and forth and she kind of looked stressed. And then my sister's friend Becca came into the room and she was like, so the worst possible case scenario has happened. And we like stopped and we're like, what? And literally all of our hearts sunk. And she was like, Tiandre's not coming. And we were all like, what? And of course, my instant reaction was like, dang, I'm bummed. I really wanted to meet this guy. You know, immediately I'm like, oh, he probably has an associate coming or something, of course, because that's what most people do. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, no, he says that he is stuck in, I don't remember, some island. Something like Bora Bora. He was stuck there because he was doing a wedding there, is what he said. And when he missed his flight or something happened like that, and he didn't make it. So, but he also said that he had a second shooter coming, said that she would take it over. We're like, okay, freaking out. The bride was like making comments like, I knew he would do this. I knew that this is what was going to happen. She said that like, even for their engagement photos, he like rescheduled it with them multiple times. I guess when they did them or something, that it took like forever to get their photos back. Even when they delivered them, there were only like 5 usable photos out of it that were wow. She said the aesthetic, like blurry photos were almost like they were just blurry photos. Like they weren't really like the artsy fartsy. Yeah. Ones. I immediately was like, oh, I'll just do the wedding for her.
Yeah.
At this point, I had like 6 weddings to edit. So I was like, I am really stressed. Like, I can't edit this wedding, but I'll shoot this wedding for Tiandre. Yeah. And he was like, hey, blah, blah. I looked up your work. I love your work. I think you're so creative. He's like, I'm so happy that you're there to take over for me. How long do you think you'll be there for? And I was like, well, I'm actually just here to help my sister out, but I can have my husband bring my gear to me. Spencer did not even know how to charge a battery at that point. So I was like literally so stressed about him packing my bag for me. I was like, but you know, I'll already be here. So as soon as my sister gets here, or my camera gets here, I can like kind of take over. And he was like, okay, I have a second shooter coming there. If you could just do coverage, I think until like 5 or something like that, till ceremony. He said, my second shooter will take over. So I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. I think I was there I did it like for like 3 hours, just like that. And he said, I'll pay you $600. So I was like, okay.
Dang.
He Venmoed me $600. And I was like,
Really?
just like,
Wow.
so immediately I jump in. I get all my
Yeah.
gear. I had like literally one battery that was charged. So I went and plugged up all my gear in the other room. I went in with the bride and I was like, hey, I got this. I want you to trust me. I showed her my Instagram. I was like, I do weddings all the time. Literally did one last weekend. I was like, we got this. It went great. But I remember being like, okay, I wonder when the second shooter is going to get here. So the second shooter gets in and she was running a little bit behind. And she had one camera, and which is fine. She probably was also unaware because she told me she drove from Cleveland
Oh my god.
to downtown Dayton to second shoot.
That's like 3-something hours.
Yeah. She also just kind of looked distraught when she got there, which I would be too. I was like, I'm willing to help however I can. I was like, if you want me to step in, pose people, want me to step out, I will do whatever. I was like, you just tell me where you want me in my place, because I was like, Tiandre hired you, not me. I'm just kind of like the backup. Ceremony was getting ready to start, and I went and put my camera down because I was going to go help my sister. I could tell things were kind of like off, like she was having, I could just tell that she had a lot of anxiety. But I mean, multiple times I was like, hey, I could step in. I even asked my sister, I was like, do you think I should go up and help with the ceremony? And they're like, no, she should be good. Like, Tiandre hired her.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I remember my sister at one point came down and she's like, hey, I think you should go back upstairs to help pose family photos or something, because it is hard lighting on the top of the roof. So I went up there and didn't take my camera or anything. I just like stood behind her and I like posed family for her. And she was like, thank you. And I went back down with my sister and she said that the bride was like telling her that she didn't want Tiandre to edit the photos. I guess my sister had shown her like the second shooter's work and then showed them my work, and they're like, I want her to edit. And I was like, I have like 11 weddings I'm editing right now. I don't want to worry about this stuff right now. It's wedding day. I was like, we'll just figure it out later. Second shooter was really nice too. She actually ended up telling me though that Tiandre only paid her like $250 or something like that. Yeah, she drove from Cleveland.
That wouldn't even cover, in my opinion, like the travel.
Yeah, there were like a few times when my sister was like stressed just because she noticed that she like wasn't taking pictures of like certain things that were during the reception. I have nothing bad to say about the second shooter at all, except for I'm sad that she drove all the way from Cleveland. We leave the wedding. Next day, my sister's friend texted me and she's like, okay, bride wants you to do the gallery. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to talk to Tiandre and get him to release the photos from me, because I'm not gonna break a contract and then I get sued.
Yeah.
There was like mix up with the SD cards too, because I shot on my own SD card and then I gave it to the second shooter before I left, because she was gonna give both of them and mail them to Tiandre. Ended up actually Venmoing me for the SD card too. So I was like, oh well, that's really nice.
Yeah.
He was fighting back, didn't want to release the photos for someone else to edit them, and the bride was like threatening to sue him, like take him to court. That went on for like a few days, and then eventually my sister emailed him and was like, hey, my sister would be the one to be editing the photos. And he was like, oh, that's fine, I love her work, yeah, here are the photos.
So did you edit the
don't
gallery?
know. So yeah, so he ended up releasing them to me. I edited them. They were fine. Sent them to the couple. They loved them. They were super sweet. Very thankful that I took over for them.
Yeah.
But like more tea came out that like, I guess the second shooter was like saying stuff about how like she thought that like we were rude the whole time to her, and my sister wasn't nice to her and all this stuff. And even though she literally was like giving me the lore that this was like her third time second shooting for Tiandre, and this was the second time it happened to her. So I was like, why would you still be second shooting for this guy? So I don't know. Overall, like kind of odd experience.
But you got the money and they got pictures.
Yeah, they got their pictures. I guess Tiandre, I could be wrong, but I think Tiandre did refund them some money.
Okay.
And they used that to pay me to edit them. So I got
okay.
paid from Tiandre to take over for
Yeah.
him, and then I got paid from the bride and groom to
Okay.
edit them. So I still got. I basically
Enough.
did the wedding. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did fine. Then literally, I think it was probably like 3 or 4 months ago or something like that. It was like literally making headlines. Like there was someone
Yes.
on TikTok, and their TikTok blew up, and I was just like,
The amount, the actual number is astronomical of
I
couples.
was literally like flabbergasted how like someone one could do that. Period. But also just like how it went on for so long.
It's because people are scared to speak up.
Yeah. Anyways, tell your story now. I felt like my story was really long. But I mean,
So, one of my, I'm not gonna say that.
lock them up.
An amazing couple, probably the sweetest couple I've ever worked with. I know it's different when you go save a wedding, they're extra grateful to you. I've had to save multiple weddings and like show up when other photographers haven't. Only one for him, actually, one or two for him. This one specifically was the first one. The couple hired me for videography, and I was only supposed to be there for like 4 hours, I think, and it was in Cincinnati. It was the first wedding I was going to travel to.
Yeah, I was
So
just
I
like,
was
you usually don't
pretty
travel that
anxious.
far. Yeah.
No, that's the furthest I've ever gone for a
Okay.
wedding, and it will be the furthest I'll ever go because I
Yeah.
was so anxious driving home.
Yeah.
I was planning on going there for 4 hours, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be there at night, so I know I'll be okay driving
Yeah.
home. The couple booked me, I would say, I can't remember exactly, but maybe 3 or 4 months out. So it wasn't a very long period between booking and showing up. At the time, I wasn't extremely organized with my wedding business. I didn't like have a communication timeline like I do now. Like you're going to hear from me at this time, this time, this time if I don't hear from you. And at the time I didn't really have that, but I did like text them every so often because she would send me pictures of her dress and like this stuff, just like being friendly. All of a sudden I get a phone call from her. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like, I don't get
Usually you
just
don't get
random
phone
phone
calls,
calls.
yeah.
So I put her on speaker and I said, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. She's just devastated. Said, I don't know what to do, Elena. I need your help, blah, blah, blah. And it's giving me goosebumps right now. It makes me so emotional to ever think to put a person, let alone somebody getting married, through those emotions. Like, and so I'm like, take a deep breath. She takes a deep breath and she said, Tiandre is our photographer. Because I asked her the photographer's name when we booked so that I could communicate and blah, blah, blah. I didn't reach out yet because it was too soon. It was like a month after they booked. She said, Tiandre is all over the internet. We're scared he's not going to show up for our wedding day. She told me about the story of their engagement and how he like
It was, like,
kept
similar,
rescheduling.
yeah.
Yeah, she kept rescheduling. He delivered like a couple of photos and said they're sneak peeks, but then never delivered the rest.
Yeah.
I assume it's the same for like every couple.
Yeah.
Just enough to where he doesn't get sued
Yeah.
or get looked at, but then not delivered.
Yeah.
So she said, I'm scared he's going to do the same thing on my wedding day. At this point, I had never heard of his name before.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I can look into it. I can get some feedback from people, or you tell him you want a refund and I will do photos for your wedding. There's a way around this to where you don't have to feel that stress, because he did not do well with communication. If she texted me, I'm texting back in 5 minutes. Like it's my bride. I'm going to text them back as soon as I can. He did not text anyone back, call, email, nothing. No communication until the day of, and then he'll say, oh, I can't make it. I asked them, what does your contract say if you were to say, I want a refund right now? I want to break our contract right now. What does it say? She said, we already paid him in full to book and it's not refundable. I'm like, oh my gosh. The second I heard that, like my body was just like heavy for them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll do it for free. They already paid me a retainer for $400 or $200 or $400. And I said, don't worry about the rest. I'm going to come. I'm going to do your wedding. I said, I can't do all day, but I can hire someone to finish out the day for me. I told her that and she said, we'll pay you anything, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just want to feel better and I want pictures of my wedding day. And I said, I really don't want you to worry about the money because if you never get a refund from him, I still want you to have photos. I'm not doing it for the money. She said, okay, I'm going to text him right now and tell him we want to cancel and that we want a refund. I said, okay, so to be clear, we're switching to photos and you do not want video. And she said, yeah. I resend her all the contracts of photography and we're doing 6 hours now instead of 4. I show up, or no. Hold on. I forgot another crazy part.
Tiandre tried to fist fight her.
No,
He showed up.
I've never spoken or met this person. I've already told you about this person. I'm not saying names, that ain't me, but I post on the Dayton photography thing on Facebook, I need a second shooter on this date. People respond and I pick one based on the photos, like a stupid dummy. The morning of, and by the way, I was paying.
I don't think you've told me about this part.
Oh, I haven't?
No, I actually don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, I'll tell you after.
I'm trying to connect the dots.
It's another scammer, but anyways, whole nother topic. But they text me the morning of and say, I can't make it, and I'm literally about, like, I have all my gear packs. I'm ready to go because it's an hour and something away. So I'm like, whatever. It's like 11 a.m. I'm like about to leave, and I have to pick up Rain on the way too. She texted me and said, I can't come. Reasons I will not explain. I'm like, oh my gosh, panic attack immediately. I can't drive when I'm having a physical panic attack. It's dangerous. So I call Rain and I say, I'm going to be late. We're going to be late to this wedding and we're going to be stuck there and I can't drive home and it's in Cincinnati. We're going to be stuck in Cincinnati and all this. And I'm panicking for real, a real panic attack. And she said, it's okay. I will drive. She has driving anxiety too. She's just a kind-hearted person and she had a lot going on in life. And so she was a panicky person too, but she just knows she had to step up. So her sweetheart drove us to Cincinnati. I'm frantically trying to find a second shooter or like an associate for the nighttime. I feel so bad because that person was not experienced.
Okay.
And to this day, the guilt inside of me for doing that because of my own mental health issues.
You had to do what you had to do, though.
I know, but just inside, I'm just like.
And realistically, it all comes back to Tiandre. It's his fault.
I know it is.
It's literally.
But it's more of like, it's just the way things happen. The canceling last minute, the changing things, the panic attacks, the this, that, like everything was just so chaotic. But anyways, it was the most beautiful day. They're so gentle, the couple. They're so gentle and calm and caring and kind and generous and like everything. It's so good. We met before the wedding day because I wanted to make sure I knew what she wanted photo-wise and everything, and I never met her before, so I wanted to meet. So we met at a Dunkin' Donuts, and she said at that meeting, she screenshotted a bunch of comments, posts, all the stuff, a whole website dedicated to Tiandre scamming people. Like, not joking, it's a thing. You can still look it up. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's showing me all this stuff, and she said, you don't know how much of a relief it is that you care about us. And I'm like, that's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
That is the bare minimum, to care about you. Like, she meant that too. When she looked me in the eyes and she said, you don't know what it means for you to actually care about this. And I'm like, what do you even mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was another option.
Yeah. Right.
And something they didn't realize is I had Rain doing content creation. So they still get video, but it wasn't like kissing. So they were extremely happy. So I talked to her actually a couple weeks ago, told them happy anniversary and whatever. And she told me that she did get a refund eventually. They did sue him. And I don't think they went to physical court.
Yeah, there's no way he showed up.
Yeah. But he did get indicted and like was charged with an insane amount of cases.
Yeah. Holy moly.
So I never had to deal with him. But I gladly picked up his pieces.
It's the way that, like, even if I have to reschedule a session for, like, a legit reason, like, literally,
I know.
I'd
Yeah,
go-
that one
I'd
day you
go-
covered for
yeah.
me, I was in shambles.
let's say that literally my leg was broken, and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry, my leg was broken. I would feel so
do it in a
bad.
wheelchair.
I'd be like, I'm still coming. Like, I'll just do it with a limp. Like, I'm still gonna do it.